Hello everyone and welcome to the video. This will hopefully be the first in a series that is going to look at how you can use Adobe's Premiere Pro when making short videos. So I've used a lot of videos over the last year and a half with online lessons. They've been a great help for me. Just simple things like reading textbook passages because I'm wearing a mask during class, and actually seeing me read the text has been helpful for students. But also more fun things, like I made a short film for my seminar students who also had to make their own short movies. Now, Premiere Pro is quite a complicated program, but once you learn the basics, it's really easy to use. So I'm going to try and keep these videos nice and short. Each one should be around 5 to 10 minutes long, and we're going to go through step by step, and hopefully you'll be a master before you know it. Today we're going to start off really simple. We're going to look at how you can import files into Premiere Pro. And that's it. That's all we'll do today. It'll be nice and easy. Next week we're going to look at the very basic beginning of editing that footage. But please enjoy the video. Any questions, please leave them below and I'll be happy to help you out. But let's go. Okay, so before we even open up Premiere Pro, it's a really good idea to get our shots and our footage organized and any other media you might be using. So I've got this folder down here that says Test Project. This is where I'm going to have all of my shots. So instead of having something on the desktop, I'll keep it in that folder. And I'll show you later why this is important, but once you choose a location for your footage, try and keep it in that location. Otherwise you might have a bit of trouble later. So for example, I've got a folder for my textbooks that I make for work, for all the university classes I have to put together. For me, just personal stuff, and last up a folder for my doctorate. And then this is my backup drive as well. So open up here. This is all of the footage that we're going to be using. And it's also a good idea to have an idea about what this footage is. And the best way we can do that is to name it. Okay, so this is a screen recording. Again, it's just a test. But let's call that, just call that screen recording, which it was called anyway. Okay. And then I've got these other videos, which might be a bit more difficult to... So this one, we don't need, right? Me just faffing about with the microphone, that can go in the bin. Okay, this one too, it's a minute long, it's probably no good for us. Maybe we'll use that as test footage though today, huh? You can see how messy my room is now before I crop. Hello everyone and welcome to the video. Okay, so that will be lesson 1, intro. Okay, again, this is just me fixing the camera so we can chuck that straight in the bin. My big shiny face. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Adobe Premiere Pro tutorial series. Today we're going to be looking at how we can actually edit our footage. So this is lesson 2 intro. And I'm sure you can guess what the next one's going to be called. This is going to be lesson 3 intro. And then this one is lesson 4 intro. Now I'm getting a bit nervous now because I'm already halfway through my t-shirt collection. I don't know what I'll be wearing when it comes to lesson 12. So these are all of the shots that we're going to be relying on just for today. And we can find these on the desktop in this folder here. Okay, test project. So let's go over to Premiere Pro. So you'd obviously have to load it up normally. I've already got mine ready to go. And you'll see some of the old projects that you might have made. We're going to click on here, new project. And first up, we need to think of a title. So this is just going to be test project for me. Okay. And we've got a few different things to look at here. We won't go through them today, but I always have a timecode display. There's different quality. Mine's HD, the camera that I use. So just click OK for now. And maybe when we get into the nitty gritty of things, we can look at what all of this means at a later date. Okay, so this is what Premiere Pro looks like, and it does look a little bit daunting. I do understand there are lots of different windows. Today we're going to be looking at just two. We're going to look at this one here. This is where you're going to have your library of footage for you to use, and then we're going to look very briefly at this one as well, which is the timeline. Okay. So first up, we're going to import media, and there's a few different ways that we can do this. First up, maybe the most complicated, is to go to File, then all the way down to Import, and ours was in the desktop, test project, and let's just import one file for now, because we're going to do a few different ways. Okay, so here we go. This is one way that you can do it. You can see the footage here. You can go through the timeline to look at it. Okay, the other way, which is a little bit more, or maybe a little bit less complicated, sorry. You can minimize your screen. I don't know why it chose to be such an odd shape. There we go. Test project, and let's bring in this test footage, and we can just click and drag this into Premiere Pro. Okay, so once again you can do import here in the file, or you can drag the footage in. If you want to avoid using your mouse altogether, the shortcode, or the shortcut, sorry, is Command I, and it will go to the last folder that you went to import footage, which is really handy because obviously we've put all of our footage together. So if we wanted to import this as well, it's a bit of a larger file, so it'll take a little bit of time. Okay, so three options here: File, Import, you can drag it in, or you can use the shortcut, which is Command I. I should say I'm on a Mac for this, so for Windows it might be a little bit different. Okay, so that's step one. What we're going to do today, so we're just going to show you how you can add this to your timeline. So as you can see, this little blue icon, this means it's now in your sequence, it's now within your timeline. Okay, and we can just drag this in like so. Next week we are going to look at how we can edit these clips together. We won't be doing that this week, but here you can see this is basically where we keep the library of all of the footage that we're going to use, and then by dragging it over here, this is now where we can edit it. This is the timeline, and at the top, this window, this is the preview of what is in the timeline. So we can drag this across and you can see everything here. You can push this button to stop and start your footage, or you can push space, that also acts as play and pause. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to show you today is, do you remember I said that deciding a place for your footage is very, very, very important? So what we're going to do, we're going to save our footage, Command S, or you can obviously save manually if you'd like to. And we're going to close this project. Okay, and for now, let's put this in my SB Publishing folder. So the location of our footage has now changed. We're going to open up Premiere Pro again, and this might take a little bit of time. By the way, I kind of feel like this guy here looks a bit like me. I don't know, maybe it's just my imagination. Maybe it's just the hairline, I don't know. Okay, so we're going to open our project, and when we do, you might see that there's an error code or an error message that pops up. So now it says locating media is trying to find the clips that we have moved. So normally the PC will look in the last place where that media was. Now it can't find those clips. So these are the 3 clips that we imported into our library. It's not just the clips in your timeline, it's all of the clips in your library. So what you can do, if you don't need these, you can just continue on without them. If you don't want to, just click cancel. But we're going to try and locate these clips now. So we're going to click on here, locate. And now we're back to our desktop. You can go through all of these. You can go on to different users. But luckily, we know where this is. This should be in my SB Publishing folder. And we're looking for test footage, which is here. So we can do search now, or we can click on this item and it will say OK. So because all of that footage was in the same folder, once the PC or your laptop or anything else, once it found one of those clips, it knew where the other clips were. So like I said at the beginning, when you choose a location for your footage, try and keep it in that one location. Otherwise it might confuse your computer, and maybe you forgot where you put the footage, which is going to be an absolute nightmare to try and find. But that's it for today. Hopefully that was nice and simple. We looked at how we can import footage into Premiere Pro and how we can put that footage onto the timeline. Next week, we're looking at editing. In the meantime, if you've got any questions, please let me know. I'll be happy to help. But have a great day, and hopefully I'll see you very, very soon.